His mishandling of this pandemic is inexcusable. He was forewarned way back in February that there was a major crisis. He downplayed this. We don't have the testing. He encouraged everybody that this was just going to blow over. It's just like a simple case of the flu. It cost lives, and it's inexcusable. Blood is on this man's hand, and he is so stupid and so arrogant. It's just unbelievable.
He has been a total failure during the pandemic. His inability to take that seriously and to develop comprehensive testing and tracing, to provide the supplies, to take leadership and not just leave it to the states was an embarrassment and a total disaster. And we have lost countless thousands of lives because of his failure to lead. And I believe that, and I will always believe it. We're at more than 110,000 American deaths because of COVID-19, and we're probably going to go to 200,000 because now President Trump is just ignoring the problem.
I have multiple sclerosis. I have to be very careful because I take an immunosuppressant. So COVID to me has been very scary. I have no idea what he's doing. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Basically, we're no better off now in mid-July than we were in March when everything shut down. We're the wealthiest, most powerful country in the world. We've got 25% of the world death due to coronavirus. It's really just been mind-blowing how much he has mismanaged, has zero leadership when it comes to the coronavirus.
This whole pandemic thing and how they're handling it, it's just ridiculous. You know, testing's only increased 17%. So testing's gone up, it's only 17%. But the deaths have gone up, or the hospitalization have gone up 123%. So how does that correlate at all as far as the pandemic's concerned? It's not a matter of we're doing more testing. And then this idiot wants to put children in classrooms without having any plan, and he's holding the states accountable. And not only is he holding the states accountable to try to come up with this plan to get children back in, he's saying he's going to withhold funds unless they get back into the schools.
I decided in probably January, February, when I heard that the first case of coronavirus was in Venice, I said to everybody around me, if it's in Venice, it's in the United States. And the administration didn't take it seriously from the very beginning. They continued to come on TV and say, low risk to Americans, 15 cases going down to 0, all this BS that I knew at the time was BS. So I lacked any confidence and knew that it was going to be lie, deny, deflect, and now it's turned into full-blown delusions.
COVID-19. He denied, lied, and delayed. He blames China, but it's his response that is killing us. Look at South Korea, who responded to the pandemic when he didn't. Today is August 30th. There are at least 182,535 Americans dead because of COVID-19. My numbers, by the way, are from Johns Hopkins University. There are 323 dead South Koreans from COVID-19. Now, their country is smaller than ours. If both were the same size population-wise, they would have 2,100 deaths. We have 88 times the number of dead Americans as South Koreans. Trump did that. They masked up right away, did testing and contact tracing, and they kept their cases and deaths down. Trump fought all that.
Our national approach to this pandemic has been a complete and utter failure of disastrous proportions. He downplayed the virus for months, assuring Americans their risk remained very low. He allowed our public health experts to release guidelines on how to safely navigate the crisis and save as many lives as possible, only to then go on Twitter and encourage his supporters to storm the capitals of states ran by Democratic governors and demand that they bypass his own administration's guidelines. Instead of following trusted health experts, he follows conspiracy theories. Instead of setting up a national strategy of testing and contact tracing like other developed countries, He advised that the solution to the pandemic was to just stop testing. Quote, "If we stopped testing, we wouldn't have any cases." That's probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard a sitting United States president say. I'm expecting him any day now to say that he's found the cure for cancer. Dismantle all MRI and CT machines. Problem solved. No cancer. It's just madness. He has a portion of our country even denying that the pandemic even exists or that it's a hoax. This has been extremely frustrating for healthcare workers, such as myself and my wife, who is a registered nurse.
I want you to imagine that you are in a hospital and you are visiting your baby, and that child is on a ventilator fighting for life. And you look up at that screen and you hear that man who occupies the White House, and you hear him say, "I've told my people to cut back on testing, to erase your baby, to keep the numbers down so he will look good." How would you feel? Just imagine. Can you empathize with that? And then, to make it worse, later on you hear the TV and someone says, "Oh, he was just kidding." That's how we joke at a time like this? Kidding? Is that leadership?
In his current treatment of COVID-19, at first he didn't even think this was a real thing. He kept calling it the Chinese virus. Of course, there's no medical background for calling it the Chinese virus. He didn't believe in it. He does not wear masks. And he's bungled pretty much everything that has come before his administration. And that's an embarrassment. It really is.
But his biggest failure is his willful failure to understand science and respect science. He refused to model wearing a mask, knowing full well as a reality TV star that what he said people pay attention to. He has been willfully ignorant and duplicitous and sociopathic, which has now to this date cost 140,000 and up deaths. There is blood on his hands in this epidemic as far as I'm concerned.
I am a registered nurse. My husband is a frontline healthcare hero. Every day now, I have to worry about the safety and health of my husband and of my family. Here where I live, the number of cases of COVID set new records daily. The death count continues to rise. Testing can take up to 10 days to get results, and tracing is almost non-existent. But it didn't have to be this way. President Trump's response has been incompetent and pathetic. He squandered weeks to months without coming up with an appropriate plan for reopening. And now he tweets in all caps that schools are to reopen without coming up with any plan or guidance.